I'm Bruce Flax, President of the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce, here with another edition of Community Conversations. I'm at the Ditty Bag and Mystic with Jason Hine.
How you doing?
Jason, good to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you.
You guys just talk about where you are. We're right down here on East Main Street.
East Main Street, right across the street from the train station. So it's a good spot for us to be right here on Route 1.
Fantastic. And so, can you give us a little background about the Ditty Bag? What is it? Like, how you got the idea?
Sure. My idea was born out of worry for the planet. So I see a lot of plastic pollution out there. I'm also worried about climate change. So the Ditty Bag is a zero waste marketing cafe. So our mission is very clear. It's to help the community reduce its plastic use and lower its carbon footprint. And that's what we do. We sell sustainable products, things that people need every day that'll help them, with that mission.
Yeah. And so we'll dig a little bit deeper. So as an example, you guys sell laundry detergent.
We do, yeah.
So, but not in a huge container that is with wasteful plastic.
That's right. So instead of buying a giant jug of liquid laundry, which is mostly water anyway, and of course you're stuck with that giant plastic container that'll probably take about 1,000 years to degrade. Yeah. We sell laundry sheets, for example. It's our best seller. They come in a little box. It's good for 100 loads of laundry. They work fantastic. They're plant-based. There are no microplastics going down the drain. And when you're done, you are left with a little cardboard box that can easily be recycled. So no plastic, no waste, and it's very easy to make that switch.
Yeah. And what are the other things, like some of the other things that kind of are along those lines? Like I see there's like containers with different things in it that are not using the packaging.
That's right. So actually a lot of people will bring their own container. So for example, our bulk food section, rice, pastas, quinoa, we have granolas and trail mixes, sugar, the basic staples, coffee. And people can bring their own containers and refill those. And we just weigh the container to make sure they don't pay for the weight of the container. Then we weigh the food that's in it, and that's it. Other packaging that we sell items in is usually cardboard. So for example, we don't sell liquid shampoo. We sell shampoo bars. They do very well. People love them. And when you're done with your shampoo bar, again, it's plant-based, no microplastics or anything like that. But then you're left with a little tiny cardboard box that you can easily recycle.
Yeah.
So we have lots of products like that. Toothpaste that comes in an aluminum tube, as opposed to a plastic one. So it's just all these everyday items. Yeah, there's many things. So easy to make the switch in some of these cases.
Yeah. So you're clearly passionate about the environment and Earth. And this is you're completing 5 years, right?
Yeah, we just celebrated our 5th year anniversary. Yeah.
So can you talk a little bit about when you were getting the business going, some of the challenges that you faced and how you were accepted into the community and the buy-in from the community?
Yeah, good question. I had zero business experience. I had zero retail experience.
Yeah.
And I never was a barista, so I didn't know how to make coffee. So I had a couple of check marks against me, but I worked with an organization called SCORE, a nationwide free mentorship program for new business entrepreneurs. And without them, I wouldn't have opened. They were fantastic. They supported me in every way, from marketing to setting up inventory, product management, just point of sale systems, everything. They were there for every step of the way, up and through the opening. So that really helped a great deal in terms of what I needed and what I was lacking in terms of the business experience. But then the community also stepped up a great deal. They supported me so much. They helped me with some marketing analysis before we opened. And then afterwards, they quickly became not only really good customers, but they were full of advice, ideas, and they contributed in so many ways. So it's really feels more like a co-op than it does a single person-owned business. We're really part of a team.
It's almost like a created community, right?
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah. They're very loyal customers, and they get it. They've bought into the mission, and they think what we're doing is important.
Yeah. And when with the no experience and kind of jumping into it, is there something that if you could have told yourself 5 or 6 years ago that you know now, like that you wish you knew? Or
yeah, and I learned it at the Entrepreneur Academy in New London, but probably about 2 years into the business, somebody asked me, in a seminar, do you own your own business? And I said, yes, it's just me, And he very pointedly said, that's not good enough. You need a team. You have to have a team, even if you're just one person that owns a sole owner. And so he said, do you have an accountant? And I said, yes. And he said, that's a team member. Do you have, do you work with the Chamber of Commerce? I said, yes, I work with the Chamber of Commerce. Then that's part of your team. You need to think of them as your team. You need to write this down. And then if you've got really good customers, they're part of your team as well. So if I had one thing to go back and tell myself, I would have told myself that a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
Rather than later, the importance of forming that team.
Yeah. And then through the 5 years because I was here when you're opening, hasn't changed too much, right? Have you transformed a lot?
We've changed a little bit. We received a sector grant a few years back.
Great, sector's great.
Sector was fantastic. So that funding enabled us to get some new shelving units. So and then we added on we increased our bulk foods by 50%. With their funding, and they were just really supportive, and I've worked with them since that grant. So some things have changed. We've sort of grown inside in ways that might not be noticed, and also this cafe has grown in use. In the beginning, nobody really hung out here. It didn't really have that feel to it, but now people hang out here. We've had authors write their books in here. I've had students complete their projects and papers in here. The high school sustainability club in Stonington, they meet here, and our state representatives come here and talk politics and talk environmental policy. So this place has grown too in terms of its usage. So it may not look that different. But it's really grown.
Well, I think also that when you're looking at how your space morphs and what goes into it, it's interesting that a fifth of your space doesn't have retail in it, right? It's actually something to help people, to have a space that they can learn, grow, and really become that community space that we spoke about a little bit ago.
Yeah, I think if you own a business and you want it to be truly community minded, you have to have a space for the community. So this space is sometimes quite busy, and you're right. Sometimes it's not. It's sort of a space where I could have retail. But what goes on here is really important. We have shaped state policy here. We are mentioned a number of times in a book, Parenting in a Climate Crisis, by Bridget Chervell, a Stonington resident. She wrote the book in here, and she interviewed me again and again. And so, that back and forth, that piece of the community, is a really unique way to use this space, and it's also energizing. I'm not behind that counter all day.
Right.
I'm out here working with people. And so it really feels like we can realize our mission in multiple different ways.
Yeah, this is the whole theory behind it. I mean, I think in the great realm of things, every little bit helps, and people can do their part in very small ways and very large ways. And I think you open it up for that mantra to be spoken daily.
Yeah, one of our newer endeavors is for our newsletter. We have a Substack, and but I have student writers, and so the students contribute articles. They work on different stories. I pay them to go out into the field to learn something, maybe about the honey we purchase and sell here, or the scallops. And so they go out and they get a tour of the boat, or they work with the bees. And Drew, and so then they come back here and they get paid to write an article. And so that's just another piece. This whole student initiative, this student-led initiative, has been really fun and energizing as well.
I got to give you credit. It really is amazing. But I don't think that the business owner around here always thinks that community wise and so granular to have the students not only write stuff, but that you pay them to do that, and that's.
Oh yeah. I value their work and their effort, and I think they should get paid.
Yeah,
we ask for students to volunteer all the time.
Yeah,
and I think if we want to bring them into the fold, then we should compensate them for their time.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great deal of respect.
Yeah.
With you moving forward and having getting past your 5 years, is there anything that you're looking at down the road for next things for here, or is it just slow and steady win to race?
Yeah, no, that's a good question, and I think we're actually at a place where we're asking ourselves, how can we grow more in here? I feel like there's a lot of things we can do. I'm not exactly sure which our next project is going to be. Right now, we're looking to expand our Earth Day Expo. That's something I work very closely with the Stonington sustainability club with, and so that's something we're looking for. I know it's a little outside of the business. In terms of inside the business, I think I have a ways to go in terms of making sure I have lots of products that people need. And so I think a really hard inward look for the next 2 or 3 years is what we need to be doing, and making sure that we provide everything that folks need to live a sustainable life. And I think we have a ways to go, so we're going to focus on that.
And I think you have to make it as easy as possible.
Yes.
Because I think everybody, including myself, take for granted when you go to the supermarket and you buy these products that are in these packaging, and getting people to understand the waste that's involved and how they can make a difference.
Yeah, my very young assistant manager, Hazel, who's a UConn student, she did a campaign called Make the Switch. It was a social media campaign, and her mission in this media campaign was to show just how easy it can be to make the switch. And it's just a matter of breaking the habit of getting everything you need at the big grocery store, but maybe swinging by here first, seeing what we've got, and then when you can't get it here, you go to the big store. But that one habit breaker of just getting here, and then we take it from here. We'll help the customers figure out the easiest ways to sort of get going.
Well, it's really eye-opening. I really appreciate your time here on Community Conversations, and we're going to wrap this one up, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah.